Okay, so we're good. We're going. I'm gonna try to jump right into it. So there's something. I'm sorry if like the it just focuses a lot. See if this works. I don't know, but if the camera keeps like focusing, like getting dark and stuff, I'm using my laptop camera because I didn't know because I wanted this to kind of be like a long video, but I just didn't want to use my phone because it takes up a lot of space on my phone. So I'd much rather have it take up space on my computer than my phone. That's how I am. Yep. So, anywho, so I just wanted to talk a little bit about. So, over the last week or so, I've just done a lot of like self-reflecting and a lot of thinking uh, with just kind of the future and of my future and just overall where I want to be and stuff. And I just kind of wanted to ramble on about this entire idea of like kind of like combining all the previous videos that I did like a year ago of like being content with where you are, and then also um, yeah, being content, getting out of or trying to separate yourself from social pressure and stuff because that's a big thing as well that I've been dealing with a lot. And yeah, so I just wanted to kind of cover that. Uh, Now, basically, what is what was kind of like the spark to make this video? So over the last like since basically the new year, there's been like a lot of like this energy, right? And it's not only like personal energy, but it's also like you get it on like social media and stuff where you get all these people that are like very into this idea that they're going to change, myself included. I don't want to put myself outside of that, you know, that, oh, I'm different because I'm not. As soon as January 1st hit, I had this list of things I wanted to do, and then just ended up not, hasn't really formed into something. So, um, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to like cover any like advice per se. I just wanted to just get something out, kind of maybe vent or something. I don't know. But yeah. So yeah, so basically start of the new year, it just everyone has this idea that they're going to change, and I had the same idea, right? I had the same idea that as soon as January 1st hits, you're a new person, right? You're automatically a new person. When in reality, that's not the case whatsoever, right? You shouldn't wait for a day. You shouldn't wait for a singular day to change who you are, right? Because it's the same it's the same thing. Like there's nothing different other than like this this illusion of time, right? This illusion of time that, oh, it's going to be another day ahead, right? Or you have this idea of like, oh, it's like Wednesday or something, and you just have this idea, oh, come Monday, uh, be I'll work on bettering myself, right? When in reality, you should start working on it the next day, Thursday, right? Because waiting for that entire thing just destroys your work, like destroys any type of motivation, right? And because then you wait, and then what is there different about Monday than there is that Thursday, Um, and a lot of the times, it's like motivation is it's tricky, right? Because the thing is, like motivation comes and goes, right? It just comes and goes. But the thing is that you need to have like an actual like you need to have like your heels per se into what you want to do. Like you need to have it digged in there, like yeah, uh, into like what you want to do and what you want to accomplish. Because the thing is, during that entire time, motivation is going to fail you, right? It's going to fail you. It's going to come and go. But the thing is, if you don't have like this end goal, right? But then also have this ability to also, ooh, that didn't feel good. Have this ability to also, when you reach that end goal, you set another goal, so you don't get like this feeling of what did I do that for. You need to constantly be setting goals for yourself, right? And that's what kind of separates a lot of people, is that they have this giant goal, and when they reach it, they don't have anything to like work on towards, right? So like one of the things is, for example, I used this analogy before, where you work towards like say getting a car, right? You get a car, and a really nice one, like some type of Lexus or whatnot. You work your rear end off for like 2 3 years, right? Working overtime, and then you get that Lexus. But what does that do for you, right? If you don't have anything to be like, okay, once when I get this Lexus, what am I going to do from there on? If you just have this thing of like, I'm going to get a Lexus just to like say I did it, right? What's that going to do? It's not going to do much. You need to kind of, and that's another thing with like the externals and stuff. Like you got to kind of separate yourself from externals, and maybe I'm in no room to talk, right? Because the thing is like I have animals, right? And it's the same type of thing. Like it's the externals, materialistic type of thing, kind of holding me back. I don't want to say holding me back, but just kind of grounding me, in the same way of like kind of like I don't want to say that's kind of extreme, but just like the same way of having like a house, right? Like a house, and yeah, it just you don't want to be grounded um into that, right? So like it's just like this idea of I'm trying to find somebody, right? Because I don't. It's trying not to be single for the rest of my life. I'm kidding, but yeah, no, it's just very. I'm trying to find somebody, and then I'm trying to like work on myself and have all these like ideas that like, oh, I'm gonna like start going on vacations and stuff. Just kind of separate myself from the mold of the 9 to 5, right? Separate myself from the 9 to 5 mold of you just work, you wake up, go to work, come home, sleep, and then do it all over again for the next 40 years, right? That sounds depressing, but the thing is, majority of people end up going through, yeah, pretty much, I'd say like 99% of people, 98% of people go through that cycle, right? And the thing is, like, I don't want to, like, obviously, like, you need to work, right, in order to have some type of sustainable living, right? It's just kind of, that's how life is, right? You work to survive or to stay on this planet, right? You don't want to, cease to exist because yeah. But no, it's just rough, because like I have all these ideas, and I just don't. Like I'm too ambitious, I guess that's the big thing. Is just I'm too ambitious, and I just don't. Because like one of the things is like I want to do like some type of breeding, like have like a breeding company, right? But then that's kind of extreme because the entire reptile market is completely oversaturated, right? So it's like I just want to like breed in the my apartment. Like I want to do something like that. I want to be able to run ultra marathons and stuff. Be able to travel the country, run ultra marathons like 50Ks, 50 milers, maybe even 100 miler at one point. Leave the job that I am currently in as a janitor, because I said in my like first video, or no, one, I think the visible tattoo video that I did, it's like, oh, I'm gonna have this, I'm gonna go to this one until uh retirement. Is just like, no, that was just like me of having like 2 months and just like a stable job in a stable job. I'm just like, I don't want to do that, I don't want to clean toilets and stuff for the next 40 years. Like it's depressing. I mean, to me at least. There's probably people out there that enjoy doing that type of thing, but it's just not my thing. So I mean, it's kind of like, do I just continue to just get experience there, or do I just end up going out and venturing the world, or not the world, go out and like venture the country and stuff? Like it's just like all these things are just kind of floating through my head, and probably a lot of people too. And it's just like I'm in that same boat where it's like I have all these ambitions and stuff, but I just don't know how to approach them. And it's kind of like the fear of the unknown, I guess. Because one of the things is like I want to go to Seattle, right? I want to either like relocate to Seattle at some point, or I just want to every year just fly out to Seattle, maybe take a road trip or something, take a week off of work and just go, just fly out to Seattle and just. But the thing is, like, I'd want to do it by myself, but the entire thing, just kind of like getting out of your comfort zone, it scares me, like literally scares me. Um, and I have like this other thing of like I want to go to like Maine, right? I want to go to Maine, so like maybe I'll take baby steps and I'll just travel up to Maine this coming year. Maybe during the summer, I have get a new car and all this stuff. Anyways, I'm getting off topic, but I just wanted to kind of this entire idea of like we're all brainwashed to have like these pressures of I talked about this in my other video, but it just comes back and it hits hard um, of this idea that you need to have a stable job and you need to have the job for the rest of your life, right? Till retirement. You can't complain about it really. Um, then you have this idea of like you need to find somebody, you need to be in a relationship, you need to get married to that person, you need to commit to that person to death do us part, right? Then you have like this idea of like, oh, you got to have children, like this family pressure of you got to have children, or else what are you doing? You got to have children and you got to raise them and you got to be connected as a family and stuff, and you can't. And it just then there's that struggle, especially with me being the age that I am. It hits you hard, because I've been single for uh yeah close to 2 years now. Come October, I think. Yeah, October. So I mean that entire thing is just like, and you think like you're defective or whatnot of because you tried to chat with somebody, you try to talk to somebody, right? And then I'm not one to use like one word answers. I'm not one that's I'm one to like genuinely want to know more about you and stuff and try to take you out, right? Try to go on dates and stuff. But the thing is that a majority of people, or a majority of women at least, I don't want to say like, yeah, but a majority of women and men, they're all very like one word responders, or they're just dry, and I'm not trying to like be mean, but they're just dry, and it's just like they're kind of with this thing of like they have this idea that, oh, ask me about the it gets defeating because you do like, oh, ask me about the what your or yeah, ask me about my favorite thing, and then you do, and then you try to build off of that. Again, I'm not the most charismatic person in the world, right? But I try to conversate with somebody and try to ask more interesting, open-ended questions and stuff, and try to plan something out, but then it never ends up working out. So it gets defeating, and that's kind of been the cycle for like the last couple months since I've kind of been more serious on trying to get out and find somebody, right? Yeah. So I mean, it's just very defeating in that sense. With Valentine's Day coming up too, that's a big thing, because you don't want to be by yourself, right? So I mean, during that time, probably a good chance I'll just end up I'll just end up sitting down on the floor and playing Go Fish with Cashew, right? Or yeah, playing Uno with Cashew over a jar of pickles. I mean, it's just I don't know. It's rough. But the thing is, like, I genuinely enjoy like being single and stuff, or the solitude that I've gathered. Which is like, it'd be nice to have somebody, or it'd be nice to have this this idea of. But it's like I'm not. Part of my brain's is just like in a rush, right? Part of my brain's in a rush, and then the other part of me is just like, no, just take your time, man. If it's like I'm 23, like I'm not getting any younger. It's just like you need to find somebody, and that's that social pressure of like you gotta find somebody, right? And it's just like, I don't know. I'm not. It's just rough. As you can see, there's quite a bit, but kind of like this. Now, how have I kind of been uh, separating myself, I guess, from these pressures and stuff, as much as they are affecting me and stuff, with the new year and everything, and then just like, oh, is this going to be another year where you're just going to like not like be productive or something? But I mean, last year I was productive to the very definition of it, right? But it's like, where can I go from now? Where can I go from here? And it's just like this struggle of like, yeah, it's just a struggle. But how have I been? I So the big thing is just being productive. Uh, at least try to be productive every single day. Whether that's just cleaning your apartment, or just like going out for a walk or something. Just have those things lined up, even if they're very small. Like on your days off, like you just want to. I had this idea that I wanted to sleep all day, right? And I have every right to do so. I have every right to sleep, but it's just like, that's not me. Because what's that going to do? Did I just stay in my bed and then just scroll through Facebook and whatnot? Like, what's that going to do for me? It's not going to do. It's not going to do much, And the big thing is just trying to kind of separate yourself from your phone, right? You gotta, because it becomes a second limb, right? When you go without your phone, it's like you're missing a part of you. It's pretty much what it is, right? How many times have you gone to the store and then realized you forgot your phone, and then you just feel out of it completely? Like, oh, what if I get a text message? What if I get a call? What if something happens? I need to call somebody. It's like, it just goes through all these things, and it's just like, really, it's sad to think that like this phone is like like there was like this study or something that the most important thing to a person is their phone, right? And it's crazy. And like, guaranteed, if you take a look at your on-screen time right now, if you did this, if you look at your on-screen time, guaranteed that it would be a lot of hours that you are consuming on this phone, whether it be scrolling through Facebook, refreshing, whatnot, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever. Because it's basically like another world. That's pretty much what it is. It's another world. And the thing is, like, we just become conditioned to it, right? To kind of, if our life sucks, right? If our life sucks, we can always go into this world, where our life doesn't suck. We can be the person who we want. We could be the attractive person, right, with all these filters and stuff, and the charismatic and stuff like that. When in reality, we're in this reality. That's great, but no, in this actual existence that we are currently living, not this one. This one's all superficial, right? You need to prioritize this living, as much as it's depressing to think about, right? It's just, you need to come back to that. You need to come back to this idea that you do not need to, that you can find happiness without your phone, right? And I don't know, it's very hard to kind of separate yourself, because that's what you've done. for years, several years, right? I mean, I'm 23. I mean, back in it makes me sound old, but I'm not really old. I feel old though. My knees are like the 23 is the new 83 for my knees. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, so it's just what was I even saying? It's great. This is great, man. uh yeah, so crap. This is great. Yeah, I don't know. Just basically realize that you can find happiness, or you need to find happiness without using your phone. Because yeah, I don't really I lost my train of thought. Crap. Uh yeah, so that's being productive, separating yourself from your phone, um, and just realizing that you need to focus solely on yourself and not anyone else. Um, because the thing is that, and this kind of goes back to like finding relationship and stuff. It's just you need to be happy with yourself before you find somebody, right? You need to be happy with yourself before you find somebody, uh, or at least be on the pathway to finding your own happiness and being comfortable. Because the thing is, like, if you're not comfortable with being by yourself, and stuff, or you have like these clingy clingy tendencies like I do, it's from like the past and stuff. Sometimes you can't help it, right? You have these things where you just are naturally clingy, right? Regardless, like if somebody doesn't respond to you in like a day or so, you get kind of anxious and you just want to reach out to them or whatnot, and then your brain plays all these things, but you just need to. That's something I've tried and working on, and the big thing is just being productive and kind of separating myself from this world, because we're in this one. Yeah, you know, I don't know. It's just like all these social pressures that you need to like find a job, find somebody, get married, have kids, all this stuff. It plagues you, because in all seriousness, you don't need to do any of that, right? It's it's all it's all built into our minds, right? It's all ingrained into our minds from when we're a kid, right? From when we're a kid, we're asked, "Oh, what do you want to be when you grow up?" Right? You just have this stress put on of like, "Oh, if you're like in high school, you don't know what to do. What's going on there?" Uh, there's people that they're like seniors and stuff, and they freak out. They're like, "Oh, do I go to college? Do I go to community college? What do I major in?" And stuff, and it's just like, I don't know. And then the biggest thing is just they don't they don't teach they don't teach they don't teach like real life stuff in school, and that's the absolute worst part of it. There's like this meme out here where it's like a math equation, and it's just like, oh, how do I pay taxes? How do I yeah, like how do I pay taxes? How do I uh learn about mortgages and stuff? And then it's just like, oh, like, and there's just like this math equation from like algebra or something. And it's like, yeah, that's pretty much how you do it. It's like, no, it's not. It'd be nice to know how to like um do mortgages, and then you just be able to work towards like a house, or just live on your own. It just they don't teach you that in school. It's basically just, and that's the worst part. And even the other part that I don't understand is just college. College is, I mean, it's great if you have like the idea, but the thing is that you work towards something, right? And it's kind of like if you don't have that end goal of like what are you going to actually do, because quite a few students, they go to quite a few. I mean, like a lot. They go to like a community college or just college, and then they end up leaving because they don't know what they want to do. And it's just like you have this like forced pressure of like you need to find something you want to do for the rest of your life. it gets to you, and then you just resort to just not knowing what you want to do, and it's really toxic. And then you just go through a lot, and it's just they offer classes and stuff that you need to take, but you don't need to take, and it's 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 kind of dumb if you ask me, because I went to college for 2 years, right? I majored in human services and American Sign Language, right? But then I was just over here taking like a math class, like I was taking stats 1, stats 2, right? And it's just like, what would I do with that? What am I going to do as a when am I ever going to need like stats 1 or stats 2, right? In that career field, and it just like that part, then you just end up paying more, and it just adds more to your it just shows up on your tuition and stuff, and you have to buy textbooks, and it's crazy, and it took me it's taken me three. I've been out of college for 3 years now, I think. 2018 is when I left, but yeah, 3 years or so, 3 or 4 is one of them. Yeah, I'm old. Just kidding. No, but and still, like, I have no idea what in the world I want to do in my life. It's just very, very rough to think about this. And it's like, I'm only 23, man. Like, I'm young, right? But just like, you don't feel like that when you have all these these things with you. You don't feel young. You feel like you're always needing to like be more mature, be more responsible and stuff. And it's just like, it also affects the thing with the like treating yourself and stuff. Like I live by myself, right? I live by myself. I have my own apartment. I have my own animals. I pay my bills. I have car insurance. I have a car and stuff. And then like I work just one job, and it's just like kind of like budgeting and all this stuff as well. And it's just like you can't. I'm not like one to like indulge in like alcohol, or like I'm not one to smoke cigarettes or anything, but it's just like there's people that like go out and indulge in these things, right? And then I'm just over here that just I don't feel like I can, right? Not just for example, like having like a piece of cake or something, right? I don't feel like I can go out to Walmart and then have a piece of cake, and then not feel bad about it, right? Because you could have used those $3, $4 for that cake to buy something else that was more productive. Like I had the same thing last night. I bought a thing of donuts, right? Bought a thing of donuts, and it was just it's crazy because I was having this thing of like, why did I buy it? And I was like, it was $1.29, $1.29 for 2 donuts. Why are you even going like that direction? It's just like this constant thing. Like you need to save all this money and stuff, and I'm trying to get a car, right? And I'm putting away like a ridiculous amount of money, off of like off-brand cereal, and then just like Hot Pockets, ramen noodles. That's my grocery list every time, and it comes out to like $40 every 2 weeks. I'm spending on this stuff just to have this pressure, and it's rough, It's super rough. And then you see other people that are just like not going through the same thing, right? They're not going through the same thing, but they're out there like buying like cigarettes, buying like a lot of alcohol, partying and stuff like that. They don't work. They're on like unemployment and whatnot, and it really, really gets to you. It's like, what am I doing? I'm supposedly doing the right thing, right? I'm supposedly being the one that's being responsible and whatnot, because that's what you're supposed to do as an adult. But then you see people out here just buying like, for their paycheck, they're buying like a video game or for like $60, or they're just, instead of like buying a thing of diapers for the kid, or they're just buying a carton of cigarettes for like $80, or like a 24 pack of Bud Light, or a 30 pack of Bud Light. Just to relax, right? And it's just like, I don't know. It's just rough, but this entire thing is just. But It's like the biggest thing, I guess, is just work on yourself when you're going through all of this. Um, yeah, just work on yourself, because at the end of the day, that's the only thing that should matter in your life is yourself, no one else. Okay. And again, this is coming from the heavily tatted, long-haired guy. So take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt. Everything that I'm talking about with a grain of salt. But it's just like this is like the kind of things that I think about, right? Yeah, these are the things like I think about. Right? It's just rough to think about this, and it's like almost a daily thing. It's like so I guess, like how have I been uh, coping with this entire deal? I mean, you try to treat yourself whenever you can, right? Focus on I mean, if you are like going back to the cake thing, like if you after 9 to 5 on that Friday, enjoy yourself. Have like a piece of cake. Order some DoorDash, right? Just don't go overboard. But or just spend time with your animals, right? Or just kind of go window shopping. That's what I've been doing. I window shop for reptiles. You know, I was just looking at this Western hognose that I want to get. And I'm just like, no, I shouldn't get that. I have 11 animals already. And it's just a window shopping. It's pretty great. But yeah, so I don't know. Just kind of like a rant. Not a rant. Just how I feel about this entire thing. I don't want to make it any longer, but yeah, if you like this type of thing, I'm gonna put in the description to like speed all of this up to like ×2 playback speed, because if you're watching me for 32 minutes and like 14 seconds now, you need to like reevaluate what you're doing. No, I'm kidding. If you actually watch this and sped it up and stuff, I appreciate it. Yeah, but if you really like, the big thing is just like focus on yourself always. Prioritize yourself. Never miss out on like your mental health and stuff, because your mental health is priority. You know, and just work on being humble, work on being responsible, and just I guess try to enjoy life as much as you can. There's a couple things that I didn't really cover with this, right? That I would like to cover more on the lines of like approaching just like more stressors and stuff, and maybe you all can relate to it. So I might make a part 2 of this later tonight. If I don't hold me to it. Don't hold me to it, okay? No, if I don't, then just yeah. But this is kind of like the things that go through my mind, right? And it's tough, but I'm getting through it. I've been doing things by myself for the last 2 years or so. So there's no way of reverting back. You know, just moving forward. That's all you can do. But anyways, I hope that this was. If you related to any of this, maybe drop a like. I'm gonna put the thing to like read the description, and then I'll just put like change it to 2 times playback speed, so you don't have to go through all this. You don't have to listen to me for 34 minutes. But yeah, so yeah, just focus on yourself. Do you? Okay, enjoy it. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Definitely will incorporate more variety in my channel, as I said. That's the plan. I enjoy making these videos, though. Absolutely do. But yeah, so yeah, so take care. Okay.